Hello, everybody. Sitting here and put another clip together, and we're doing more work on 9 pools. And I started looking into building other things that I can use for displays and stuff like that. I'm kind of creating some of my own uh, animatronics, as it were, by using some of the stuff give with the Land Coaster 2, and using some of the tools to create different things. And we, I started building uh, like the Viking ships. There's a couple other different type of ships you can build, and then I started looking into building a submarine. I thought, yeah, go with a pool, nautical, and also what I've done here is I went ahead and I used landscaping tool to dig a pit or a hole in the ground so that I could fill it up with water. And I use that water to create this pool as to actually putting in another pool, because the pools that they have access for people to swim in and to use the pool. This they can't. This is just part of the landscaping tool, and I use it to create this little pool here. And I'm covering it with different kind of nautical type material. You might, it's like it's supposed to be like a metal wall. Uh, I imagine to simulate maybe like you can use it for like an interior though, if you're creating like the indoor of maybe a sub or something like that for a display. But what I've done here is I've taken the bits and pieces they have with the build program, build tool, and I was able to put some things together, and I've created these different submarines I can use as displays. Now, there's a couple of different tracks you can use. There's one that goes up and down, so I made it so it looks like you can the sub will submerge and then come back up. I've been playing with that. There's one with a track where I put the Viking ship on that, and it actually having it move within the pool. And then there's another one where it just turns. So I did that with the anchors going into the river track there, and so I've been playing with these things. And like right now, I built that pit. Like I said, I wanted something to put the submarine in. I think you see the one in the background that I had built earlier. And then I figured out you can actually change the color of these bits and pieces that you're using to put this thing together. It's kind of neat. It's kind of fun. And I'm getting better with the paths. And like I said, there's no paths with the pool over there on to the left because, like I said, that's landscaping. This is the pool that comes with the program, so I just inserted that into that area there and created an area within that pool area. Now this here is on my clipboard, and this is where I was doing a lot of this trial and error, trying to get these submarines to look like decent submarines. So, in this one I built, I put it on my workbench, so I can bring it in and use it in other parks. See, that's that little device I was talking about. You can control the speed of that a little bit, and your sub, you can have it raise and lower in the water, like it's submerging and diving and stuff like that. Would be neat now if they have like a long track you can make that like the one that just has a straight track that goes back and forth. This one has the up and down movement. It'd be nice if you had them both where you go along the track and then it could go down under the water and then come back up. I was trying to play with that. I couldn't get that to work all that well, but I did get it to go up and down. I figured out how to attach these pieces to that device there, and it gives it a little bit of animation, a little bit of motion. Like I said, I'm using these strictly as display so that you get maybe like have a pool in the background. You have the submarines, like the one in the pool back there. Like I said, this is on my clipboard. This isn't in 9 pools yet. So I'm kind of playing with all this different stuff, and I got that other big pool way over there in the background that I kind of been putting some of this stuff in that pool, just kind of checking out, see what you can do with it. And I'm not really opening this part to anything. It's just a place for me to come and work and build stuff out. A lot of stuff that I already have in place and messing stuff out. Because what happens sometimes, if you click on an item, maybe on the sub, if it accidentally grabs something in the background, like one of those trees, and you go try to move it, well, now you're going to be moving the tree too. So it can get kind of frustrating. So that's why I come here where I got that open space and I can work on these things. See, there's one of the subs. I had it sitting in the water. Now this one I got on that device, and it can go up and down in the water. See, just like that. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'd like to get it a little bit slower, so it's a slower submerge and then a slower rise. It'd be neat if you could create a ride with this here, but like I said, you can use it in the display mode now. You could have a tracked ride coming around, and you can do different things. Like you could create this whole, like it's underwater theme by using the different rocks and textures and stuff. And as you go by, it'll look like that stuff submerging into the deep water with it's just a display. And that's why I call it Subtastic. I think it's Subtastic. It looks, fantastic. It's cool as heck. And you can play with the different colors. There's different things you can put on these. It comes with all kinds of different add-ons and stuff. This is the second one I built. You can see that little orange one. I built that one earlier. And so that's why I'm kind of rounding this little thing out and trying to give an idea of what you can do with some of these things. And at that moment right there where all that is, the guests can't get to because there's no pathway. But you could put a pathway around there, though. And then, one thing I got to start working on is fences. I got to put fences on all my walkways. It looks better. It provides a sense of safety that keeps the people off the different areas. And my buddy, he suggests that I have to put in more fences. He's right. So that's one thing I'm going to work on now that I got this sub working right. And see. Come around here, come around, okay, and then you go through and there you go. There's my my playground. As you can see, I was trying to remember what they're called, the Naga. I can remember fighting those. Oh my goodness, that was they were always everywhere, and you always had to fight them things. They always had something that you had to go and get. And you recovered the scale, or you tried in this and different things, and you go after the queen and the bosses. So it fits the Grizzle and Taz theme. What I got to do is create Grizzle and Taz. There's an actor that comes with PC too that I can use as things like a dwarven character looking. That'd be the closest thing to Grizz. But see, I had Thanos. Thanos was a dwarf with kind of like a reddish beard and hair. I had him in Arc 2. In fact, he lost his whole. I can't say he. I lost his whole herd of. Oh, we went after a gay guy. Oh, that was terrible. that was Thanos. That was my dwarven character from Iron Forge. But now here's that other submarine I was talking about. And what I found out is, if you go in and you take all the bits and pieces that you need to build the sub, make it your favorite. So when you go to build a sub, you go to your favorite and it'll bring up all these little items and things that you can use to make your sub. Like I said, you can change the color on them. And this is one I've done. I got it on that device that raises and lowers it. And I put a diving bell on the back there. So you can do all kinds of neat little things with this. I give it 2 little arms, like it can do some work under the water. And see, now, like I'm saying, you could create a whole underwater thing that your track car would go, and it just make it look like it's underwater, but it's just a display. I was trying to see if there's some way you could actually do something under the water, but I don't see anything that you can do it on the surface using a track ride. But I don't know if it'd go under the water. Maybe. I never even tried it. But right now I'm more or less using the rides that comes with the program, like that one there, that Flume. Okay, now I'm in 9 pools. I created this in I take that back. What I'm finding it's easier to create it there. So once I had the idea how to build it, and I had all the pieces already, I marked them favorite, so that when I went into 9 pools, I was able to bring up that little device for lowering it, and then you attach your items to that, and you kind of build it up. So when you're done and you activate it or it loops, it's going up and down like this here. I prefer to go a little bit slower, but at the moment that's what I got. So I have 2 of these Subtastic looking vehicles, and I'm going to create 2 pools now using these. Like I said, I can do the track thing where you got underwater, like let's say for instance that pool I have over there by the Flume. Do something like that, but make it look like you're under the water looking into a display that looks like everything's underwater. So you can use paint, you can use color, you can use different textures and stuff like that. And maybe there's a lot of underwater nature things you can use. Coral, they've got rocks, they've got underwater rocks and stuff like that. But that's going to be coming up. That's the next thing I'm going to be working on that in the clipboard. When I design something I like, I'll bring it over. For right now, I think I want Mr. Voiceover to do a script clip, and I'll have him push that down to the end. Okay, Mr. Voiceover? Yeah, so I'm having fun with this Planet Coaster 2. And I'm learning. There's a lot of things I need to learn yet. So with that, Gary, alright, got a script clip, I got to move down. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a little bit more with this. I'm getting a couple ideas just in here, putting this clip together, what I want to do with this. And I got a couple different pools I can bring in, I can use with this. But for right now, we got the music in place. We have all our transitions. It's under 15 minutes. I think this is good enough. Okay, Mr. Voiceover, go ahead and do the script clip, and we'll call it a. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching and following. Good. Print and post. Put it in the canon on the show. I'm the LA Studio and Son, Phil, Ed, OelGrez's, Gwen, and Jazz. Thank you for watching, and thank you for following.